All right, next one is Search Console. So Search Console for me is another big one. Why? It's specific to organic search, and obviously that's where a large portion of your search volume or search traffic should come from, or your traffic in general should come from. Just two specific reports that we look at. One is landing pages, and landing pages gives us a good idea as how many impressions we are getting per landing page, and that also then helps us to understand the demand. We know that specific landing pages are targeting specific keywords because we've optimized them. So if they're getting a large amount of impression share, we have a good idea as to what keywords are being used to get those impressions. So just to clarify what an impression is, every time someone searches in Google, let's say for example, online marketing South Africa, every time someone searches for online marketing South Africa, a whole bunch of results appear, millions of results. Now, every time your URL appears in that search result, be it 1 or be it 20 or be it 30, it gathers an impression. Now, it doesn't mean to say that the person has actually clicked on your URL. More often than not, you aren't getting the clicks because of the click-through rate is generally quite low if you're not number one. So impression share for me really shows demand. Okay, that's really important to understand demand for a keyword. And that's again a traction point. If you can see that you're getting traction through impressions for a specific keyword, and maybe you've got a low click-through rate, this as an example is 2%, I would start asking myself, why? Why is the click-through rate fairly low? And look at the bounce rate, 85%. So that means 85% of people are leaving and not going to another page, which is not a good stat for web growth. So we need to really relook at, and it is time to relook at that blog post. We haven't updated it in the last year. So it potentially is becoming irrelevant and is not what people are searching for. Okay, so landing pages inside Search Console, we're looking at impression share and get an understanding of where the opportunities lie. And understand also using click-through rates. So here's one with 4.5%, which is a lot better than the rest. And then those with low click-through rates. Here's one at 0.2%. We want to ask the question why so we want to try and improve click-through rates, whether that be through the title tag, whether that be through the meta description, or whether because obviously the more catchier your title tag or the meta description, the more click-throughs you get. But maybe you're sitting outside the top 10 and then you need to rank into the top 10. So that becomes a bigger question around improving that authority and optimization so it gets into the top 10, and then it'll further improve click-through rate. Hopefully that makes sense. So landing pages, important. And then queries. So again, here you have other, so that's like that not provided traffic. And then you have all the queries that, for example, web growth is getting. And this again, you've got clicks and impressions. I can filter on impressions and see in terms of demand. So there, Majestic SEO, which is actually a tool, we're getting a lot of impressions for it, but not a single click. So obviously we're not probably in the top 10. We may be outside of the top 10. Online marketing, we're doing okay-ish, but a low click-through rate. So we need to watch out for that. Internet marketing, again, slightly higher click-through rate, but maybe that's because we're ranking higher. Let's have a look. What's the average ranking? 7.5, 22. Actually, our average ranking is lower. So maybe the intent is closer for internet marketing versus online marketing. That's a little bit of a tricky one. We'll need to look through that. SEO company, another opportunity, one click. It's not good. So there's a lot of work here that needs to be done in understanding where the opportunities lie. So that's Search Console. And again, this data doesn't just appear in your analytics. You need to set up your website profile inside Google Search Console and then link the two together through a verification process. I'll share a link with you at the bottom of the video so you can learn how to set up a Google Search Console account for your website and then link it into Google Analytics so you can start seeing this data.